friends, this is Terry with your Lunar Eclipse in Scorpio survival guide for May 5th when we have this lunar eclipse in Scorpio. And I know that Scorpions out in nature and astrologically can invoke fear. But I'm here to tell you I am a Scorpio and I can walk you through this. We'll get through this lunar eclipse with no fear because it doesn't have to be scary. Because we are ready for this transformation. And we've got Pluto squaring this eclipse saying it is time to make a change. All signs are leading us to change, and our world is ready for the big changes to come. And we've been waiting for these changes to come. And it's up to all of us now to become the change. Just like that popular saying, to become the change you want to see in the world. It's time for us to step into our power to manifest and create the changing world, the new paradigm that we want to see, that we want to move into with this rebirth astrology eclipse portal that we're soaking in. We are moving in to this fifth dimensional reality in this eclipse portal, and raise your hand if you can feel the higher energetic vibrations coming in. And that Aries new moon eclipse, I just did the video about that. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it, because that opened this eclipse portal that we're soaking in now. And May 5th will be the full moon in Scorpio, and that will complete this eclipse portal. And then we have a second round of 2 more eclipses happening this fall. We also have all these solar flares. We've been having record-breaking solar flares happening, and I don't know if you're aware of that or you're paying attention, but they're really bringing in a lot of transformational energy as well. And when you start to follow the solar storms that have been happening, they're just off the charts. You can go to NASA. I'll put links down below, because NASA is tracking these solar storms, and they are getting more and more intense, leading all the way up to 2025, when NASA predicts we will have the biggest solar flares and the largest solar storms ever in recorded history. And wowee, what's going to happen in 2025? But I've been tracking solar storms for a while now too, and I've made some videos. I'll post those down in the description along with the NASA links to where you can follow along if you want to learn more about it. And on a higher consciousness level, these solar flares transform us on an energetic cellular level. And if you are a light worker, a body worker, a Reiki practitioner, you might be more sensitive to the energy that has been coming in, these energetic downloads we've been getting for the past 6 weeks. It's been happening. And these solar flares, these solar storms, when it brings in this new, fresh energy, it just destroys old patterns of behavior, and it can really influence positive changes for us all. And so I think there's like this, a lot of people are saying, oh, the world is in so much trouble, look at the news. Don't look at the news. Don't pay attention to that. If you are paying attention to a more subtle energy that is happening on our planet right now, you know that there's actually some really good energetic vibrations that are coming in. But I think anytime we get into these higher vibrations, more light, more positivity, it's like the dark side has to come in stronger. It reminds me of Star Wars or something, but you know, when the Jedi force gets stronger, the Empire comes in, and with the more dark forces. So we're just seeing this sort of battle between the dark and the light energies, and as long as you choose love over fear, that is going to be the theme of how we get through this lunar eclipse in Scorpio. We have this internal shift taking place right now that can bring your fears up to the surface. And the fears are coming up to the surface to be processed and released. And full moons, this full moon Scorpio is all about letting go. So let those fears of negativity, let those fears of guns, let the fear of whatever you're seeing on the news, let the fear come up to be processed, and then release it and let it go. This could be a great full moon for doing a full moon bonfire and just writing out your fears and throwing them in the fire, and let the fire just release that. The best way to release these lower vibrational energies is to just tap in to a higher state of love vibrations. And love is the only thing that can conquer fear. And I think that of that song, Bring Me a Higher Love, you know that song? And when we get into this higher frequency love vibration, we can really start to manifest what it is we want to see in our world and the world we want to live in, and creating the change. And it all comes from our heart space, our heart chakra, our love vibration. And we can collectively change our world when we all tap in to the higher love and we release the fears. This is the work of our time right now. And this is what is happening right now with this transformative lunar eclipse in Scorpio. And it is powerful medicine for our world. If you can tap into the higher vibrational energy that's coming in, you know what I'm talking about. Leave me a comment if you know, if you have felt the effects of this powerful medicine. If you think maybe you are downloading energy during the solar storms, if you're feeling more wanting to connect to love over fear and hate. I think that is what we are seeing on the planet at a deeper level. You won't find it on the news. Turn off your television. This new world will not be televised. So I think so many of us on the planet right now, we're just ready to bloom. As we enter into our highest energetic potential this spring, we're just ready to bloom, ready for the deep transformational rebirth that we've been talking about for so long, with Pluto now entering Aquarius at 0 degrees. This is the age of Aquarius coming, and Pluto is squaring this whole eclipse portal, and Pluto is asking us to do the work, to transform, to make the change, to be the change, to go from fear and hate into that higher vibrational love energy. And this lunar eclipse, we have this push-pull energy here because we've got all those power planets in Aries, as we talked about at the new moon Aries report. And we have Jupiter, Eris, and Chiron hanging out in Aries, the ram, and they just want to go forward and make a change and do something new. And I think so many of us are feeling called to the new directions. I know so many people want a new career, new job, new side hustle, new house, want to move across country, want to just take off and not even know where they're going. Everybody's just like, I gotta make a change. And that's that Aries energy, that new zodiac year that just makes us want to go forth like the baby running full force into the brick wall and banging its head. And Aries wants to go forward, and then Taurus, where we also have a lot of planets for this, Taurus being opposite Scorpio, right? So we have Taurus Sun, we've got Mercury retrograde in Taurus right now, and we've got the North Node in Taurus, and we have Uranus, the unexpected sudden events that could change everything, the mishaps, the crazy weather, the weird earth events. Uranus right there next to the sun, just about to be a Sun-Uranus conjunction. Taurus is like the bull that just wants to stand still. And so that gives us the push-pull. And that Taurus, that Mercury retrograde in Taurus is like trying to get the bull moving forward, and the bull doesn't want to go. And so I know that you have got to be feeling that push-pull. I'm feeling it. So many people I know are feeling it. And just pay attention right now in your astrological chart. There's 3 things you really want to know. You want to know, where's your Scorpio at 15 degrees? Where is your Taurus? Where is your Aries? Those are the areas. If you go back and look at the chart, really spend some time. If you're wanting to learn astrology, this is a great way to learn astrology. I've been studying astrology for really since I was in diapers, but I've been really studying it for 27 years. And I started by just looking at charts and trying to figure out what was going on. So you can look at that eclipse chart at the beginning and then compare it with your own personal chart and know where your Scorpio is, where's your Aries. That's where Eris and Jupiter are hanging out. Eris and Jupiter just had that incredible conjunction. We're still soaking in the energy of Jupiter expanding Eris, the goddess of discord. So that's all happening in Aries. So know where your Eris is, know where your Taurus is, know where your Scorpio is. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I am doing an eclipse astrology sale right now. You can order an eclipse astrology sale. I'll put a link down below for just $88. You get your astrology chart with the eclipse. I'll tell you exactly where all 4 eclipses are showing up for you for 2023. This is a bargain to get all 4 eclipses. Plus, I will throw in the Eris Jupiter conjunction. I'll let you know where that is happening, because that wherever that is happening is creating some chaos in everybody's life. Everyone I know, wherever Eris and Jupiter are showing up, there's chaos, right? So you'll want to be knowing where that Jupiter-Eris conjunction was. You'll want to know where your Scorpio 15 degrees is, your Aries. And then don't forget about Libra, because we've got the Libra eclipse coming this fall, and the Taurus. So that's all of that for just $88. Links down below. But before this eclipse portal opened, we had that magnificent Libra manifesting moon. Remember that? That was some good times. I told you guys in my Libra full moon report to enjoy that time, enjoy that energy, because that was the good, juicy energy right before the crazy that we're now soaking in the crazy eclipse portal. But we had a glimpse. Maybe you had a glimpse at that Libra full moon of some wonderful opportunities coming in, because right then Jupiter was conjunct the sun in what is known as a Jupiter-Sun Cazimi. And if you didn't watch the Libra full moon report, I'll put a link down below. It's still good. You can always go back and watch these older astrological reports and just get some insight about, like, that was really leading into the eclipse portal. That was showing us a glimmer of hope. And now, as we're in the eclipse portal and we're soaking in the chaos, it's just good to remember what you were trying to manifest, because the Libra full moon had all that optimistic hope for the future energy coming from that Jupiter Sun Cazimi. And if we can just hold on to those uplifting, lucky vibes that were coming in so strong on that Libra full moon just before the eclipse portal opened, that can give us this really beautiful faith. Jupiter is all about faith and hope. And that faith and hope will give us determination to get through these kind of crazy times that we're in during this eclipse portal. And just remember, this too shall pass, right? We'll get through it. But it is going to be a little bit intense. Scorpio is an intense sign. What can I say? And so we're all feeling that. And we're all going to be experiencing these massive energetic shifts. If you are an intuitive, if you are a healer, you may be more sensitive to it. You may be aware that it's happening. But even if you're not aware of that it's happening, trust me, it's happening. We're all soaking in it. We're all being transformed. With this Pluto square and the Scorpio lunar eclipse, no one here gets out untransformed of this month. This is Scorpio's magic. This is Scorpio's medicine. It's Scorpio and Pluto. Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. Pluto squaring during Scorpio. This is a time of transformation. And I'd just love to know, I just want to ask you all, what do you think about Scorpio? I'm always really curious what people's thoughts are about Scorpio. Does Scorpio invoke fear for you? Because I have so many friends already who are like, oh, Scorpio eclipse. They're like so scared of it. And what's your first thought when I say Scorpio? Leave it down in the comments, because I always meet people who have such a strong reaction. I feel like if I'm at a party or something and I say I'm a Scorpio, people will take 2 steps back like, oh, I don't know. And Scorpios are often accused of being too much, too passionate, too powerful, too strong. It's like a strong cup of coffee. We all have Scorpio somewhere, so no one gets out of having that Scorpio energy. Some of us have quite a bit more. I have a stellium of planets that are just being lit up by this lunar eclipse. So I can't wait to see. I'm like, give me the medicine. Chug, chug, chug. I'll take it. I can't wait to see what this eclipse brings me. I know it's going to be a powerful transformer for me. And I say, don't be afraid to take your Scorpio medicine. Yes, it's a strong elixir, but it's good medicine. And know where your Scorpio is so you can know where the medicine is coming through. And this Scorpio eclipse, we are just like a flower preparing to bloom this spring, and the growth process cannot be rushed right now. As much as we want it to happen sooner than it is, I have tulips right now that have just been in a bud state for weeks, and they are blooming so slow because we've had some really weird, cold, snowy, wintry mix, Arctic blast, weird weather, and so many of us around the globe have been experiencing weird weather patterns. That's Uranus and Taurus right there. And I just have to wait for the flowers in my garden to naturally unfold, right? We have to wait for the natural unfolding to happen. We have to allow for the growth process to take as long as it needs to take. And I am having the same message coming through with some other projects I'm working on this spring. Some things that I saw glimmers of hope around the Libra full moon, and now the process has slowed. And so many of my projects, like my Bend Health Guide, have been just having these incredibly exciting opportunities show up, and then the process is so slow. But you gotta wait for it. I think of the Hamilton song, I'm willing to wait for it. Are you willing to wait for it? Because we're all going to be waiting for it. This whole solar lunar eclipse cycle is about waiting for it. It's not going to happen overnight when we've got an eclipse portal and Mercury retrograde. So if you are trying to launch a project, you're trying to start a new business, maybe you want to publish your book, you're putting some music out, this is not the time. I see so many people feel like failures because they put something out into the world when the stars are not aligning. And this is not a time to put your big project forward. I wouldn't buy a house right now. I have a dream house in mind, but I can't buy it right now, right? And we can't really we want to start something new, like that Aries ram. We want to run towards the wall, and we just can't. You gotta wait. We're gonna have to wait to bloom. That is the medicine of this Scorpio lunar eclipse. It's telling you to wait to bloom, let nature take its course, allow for the unfolding. You can't rush it. You can't make it happen right now. It's not a good time to start a new business or open your restaurant. Those kind of things just aren't going to happen under this energy until we get into June. I would start something, maybe let's look at June. If somebody was coming to me, and I do astrology charts for events, I do astrology charts for people wanting to start businesses or do, you know, big life events, it's a really good time to chart it and just see, because of course your chart could say something different. Maybe your own personal astrology chart says go for it, even if all the rest of the planets are retrograde or eclipse portals. Sometimes it still is a good time for you personally. So this is just a generalized, I wouldn't really launch or put something out this month, and it's why I'm postponing putting out the guide until June, because the energy is so much juicier when we get into June to be seen, to be putting your stuff out. Do it in June. And remember, Scorpios know what they want in life, and Scorpios know how to get it. And they usually get it by pursuing their prey endlessly and intensely, chasing after their desires to the ends of the earth. And this is absolutely true of every Scorpio I know. If they want something, they never give up. So I'm not telling you to give up on your dreams. Don't give up on publishing your book. Don't give up on starting that restaurant or starting your new business. It's just maybe not right now. The stars aren't aligning, but you keep that Scorpio determination and that faith and hope alive that it will happen. Because Scorpios are willing to take their time when they're hunting their prey. They'll wait. They'll wait in the rocks. I hope there's no scorpions waiting in the rocks where I'm sitting right now. But that scorpion will wait and hide out in the rocks for just the right moment to lunge forward and get their prey, right? And so that is the energy. And another element of the Scorpio, of course, is the eagle. And if you've ever seen an eagle, they're way up high in the trees. We have them here right where I'm sitting on the river. I've seen eagles come from above in the trees where they have just the vision of the whole river. And there's a bird, as I'm saying, but it's not an eagle. But the eagle can see everything, and the eagle has this far-off vision, and the eagle can hyper-focus in on where it sees that fish under the water. And then the eagle all at once will swoop down and nab that fish. And it is a patient process, though. If you've ever been fishing, you know there's like a lot of waiting. And the eagle has the vision, but also the patience to wait until he sees the fish and then swoops down and gets it. So that is the energy of this Scorpio lunar eclipse. We want to just be calculated, determined, hyper-focused on where we're going and how we are going to succeed. And just get really clear about what you want right now and what is it that you're going after. And then get into that calm state of focus and let go of any distractions. Just hyper focus on that one thing that you want to manifest right now. And that one thing that you are chasing after, and take your time. Be patient, be willing to wait for it, this eclipse portal, and then strike at the optimal moment when you are completely aligned with the thing that you want. And allow this lunar eclipse is asking you to just allow for something even different, something new, something that you hadn't expected to manifest, to show up. And just by tapping into your mystical, magical dreams and inner visions, to find that there might be something. You might be staring at the river waiting for a fish, but maybe over here there's something else that wants to call your attention, some other prey that wants you to go after that. So just allow yourself to be open as you begin to bloom. Get into your heart space and really listen to your heart. And choosing love over fear is really the theme of this lunar eclipse. So if you can just forgive everyone and forgive everything that is holding you back right now. And I used to have a sticker on my car that said, "Without love in the dream, it will never come true." And that, of course, is a Robert Hunter quote. But it is so true. Make sure as you're trying to go after what you want to manifest this eclipse portal, that make sure that love is the biggest part of your goals. You have to do what you love before the money follows, like the book says. And love even your enemies, and just make an audacious claim that I love everyone and everyone loves me, and everything that I'm doing is just infused with love, and putting so much love into even the simplest things, like if it's feeding your cat in the morning, just pouring your heart and soul and love into every little moment of your day, this lunar eclipse. And whatever you can do to just tap in to your heart chakra this month. I'm actually wearing green today because green is the color of the heart chakra. This is not necessarily a Scorpio color. Scorpio, I think of more burgundy, blood red, all the colors of the, scorpion, but green is such a good color, and I have my green jade on today to just remind me to stay in my heart chakra space. If you look at the chakras, the heart chakra is this luscious green color, and just bringing in that feeling of spring growth and the heart, and just letting your love light shine, and just shine that love light as bright as you can from the inside out, and trust that whatever you're seeking is going to happen for you eventually. You might have to wait for it, but it's coming. And you deserve to bloom and all good things in all good time, because there really are great things coming with this Scorpio lunar eclipse. There's nothing to fear here. It's all love and light, I promise. It just reminds me of getting pregnant. I do fertility acupressure, and I do Reiki for fertility. So I work with thousands of women to help them get pregnant. And you cannot rush that process of getting pregnant. It's a magical time, and you have to go with the flow, and you have to try your best, and then you have to wait. And that is what we're in right now in this eclipse portal. It's that kind of manifesting moment when you're trying to manifest something really big, bigger than you, and something that you're manifesting with love, just like when you're bringing a baby into the world with so much love. And yet you cannot plan it, you cannot make it happen, you can't control the outcome. You just have to let go and let it be, and allow the universe to bring you that baby. And we are in this incredibly fertile spring energy, and Scorpio is a very sexual, fertile energy, and so we are all trying to create something in that same way that we do fertility. We just have to try, have hope, have faith, Jupiter, and then let go and just let it happen and allow it to happen. And it's just like waiting for that flower to bloom. You can't make it bloom. It's just not happening. And then maybe you forget about it. You keep waiting for your tulips to bloom and waiting for your tulips to bloom. And then one day you're just rushing out to the car and wow, they're all bloomed and you didn't even notice when they bloomed. That's how we will manifest this Scorpio season, with hope, with faith, and then by letting go. Full moons are all about letting go, and Scorpio is all about letting go. So let go of your attachment to outcome, and then it might just happen for you. I tell you, I am talking to myself here today because I am also trying to manifest things, and I know I have to let go of my attachment, and I have to allow the universe to work its magic. And I can't control the situation. I cannot control the timeline. I have to allow the universe, the divine inspiration to take over. And we may notice a little more chaos in our life at the 3D level on this lunar eclipse. I say turn off your television sets. I'm taking a little bit of a break from the news right now, and it feels really good. I'm in a higher vibrational energy for just not watching the news. People are like, can you believe what's going on in the news? And I'm like, I don't even know. And it feels good to not know. And just focus on your heart space this month and your own personal blooming cycle. Just focus on your flower that is blooming and wants to bloom. And don't get caught up in any dramas, lower vibrational dramas that are playing out, as so many people might just be freaking out around us from this eclipse portal. And like I said, so many people who aren't knowing that there is something higher, better, and more love coming on our planet, they're maybe tapped into the fear, and the fear is coming up to be processed. And a lot of people are just getting stuck in that fear cycle. And a lot of people just cannot handle this big magic that is coming in, this strong medicine. A lot of people can't handle Scorpios. I know, I went through a lot of boyfriends trying to find somebody who could. But anyways, and I just love this quote from Jack Kornfield. He says, "If you can sit quietly after difficult news, if you can remain perfectly calm in financial downturns, if you can see your friends travel to fantastic places without a twinge of jealousy, if you can happily eat just whatever's on your plate and then fall asleep after a day of running around without taking a single drink or pill, if you can find contentment wherever you are probably a dog." Oh, I love that quote. That just popped up on my feed as I was writing this, and I was like, that is the perfect quote. You know, there is going to be a lot of 3D stuff, but be like the dog. Just be content. Just be oblivious to it. Just be happy. Just tap into your heart. Just feel the love. And let's all be like that dog who just doesn't care what's happening on the news and just eats whatever he wants, and just be grateful. Just be in love. Just be in that higher vibrational energy. That's where the magic is, this lunar eclipse. That is your survival guide right there. If you need to get back into your heart space because maybe you do get caught up on the 3D, or I try not to watch the news, but then my massage clients all come in and they're like, "Oh my God, did you hear about it on the news? And it's so bad about the news. And then did you hear this?" And I'm like, I don't even want to know. I just am trying to just get into my own vibration, and I do energy clearing. And if you just need to get into your heart space, there is this heart mudra hand pose, and you can say the mantra YAM, YAM, and it sounds like YOM, but it's YAM, and it's YAM, YAM. You could say YAM 108 times to just tap into your heart. You can go on YouTube. There's tons of videos playing YAM with music 108 times. And this mantra is associated with the seed of the heart. And chanting this mantra heals both the physical and the spiritual heart centers. And it also makes you more open to experiencing unconditional love and compassion for others. And you can also just hold your pinky. The pinky in Jin Shin Do, the pinky is the heart, the finger that is associated with the heart. So make this your little habit to relax yourself this month, to just tap into your heart space, just holding, squeezing your pinky. Maybe you're just in the grocery store and there's tension, or you're in traffic, and not while you're driving, but if you're the passenger, you could just hold your pinky anytime. And that will just send all this nourishing blood to your heart and nourish your heart space. And I love to just do self Reiki, where I have maybe my left hand on my heart, my right hand on my lower abdomen and the hara, and just holding my heart and my hara, or just putting both hands over your heart space, heart chakra, and just breathing in and relaxing there. Just doing as much as you can. If you have other ideas for how to nourish your heart, how to open your heart, and how to tap into the love vibes, I'd love to hear about them down below. Just leave me a comment, because I'm always looking for more ideas of how to get into that love space. And I want to read the Sabian symbol for this eclipse. It's so perfect. Scorpio lunar eclipse is at 14 degrees and 58 degrees, which when it gets past that 50 mark, I prefer to look at the next degree, because that's the energy we're moving into on this lunar eclipse. 15 degrees of Scorpio is children playing around 5 mounds of sand. And the children coming in right now, they are already soaking in the fifth dimensional. They came in with this fifth dimensional world. They're here to heal the world and be the greatest transformers of all. If you know children today, they are just magical beings. And the keynote is the early steps in the development of a mind seeking to be attuned to a higher level of human evolution. And man's essential destiny is to develop as a five-fold being, a pentagram or a five-pointed star. And this number 5 symbolizes mind in its most creative aspect, while the number 4, like in fourth dimension, refers to life processes operating at present within the Earth's biosphere. Our Western civilization has realized only the lower levels of the vibration. Mind contaminated by compulsive instincts and emotional ego involvement. Some individuals are born with a special fifth dimensional potential for developing a higher creative mind. In most cases, we are still just playing around with this unusual new energetic capacity. We are in the childlike kindergarten stage of this higher fifth dimensional mind development. And the 5 symbolizes a transcendental possibility of mental evolution being evoked. The free spirit of true scientific inquiry is only a foreshadowing of such a 5 type of mind, which demands dedication to mankind as a whole. And what is seen here is future-oriented growth. So I look forward to future-oriented evolution on this Scorpio lunar eclipse. I am going to send so much distance Reiki, love vibes. I'm going to do an energy clearing right now just to clear the way for all of you who have spent time watching my video. I feel so blessed and grateful for your presence here. Thank you so much. Like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel stay alive. Thank you.